Welcome back to another episode of True Sons. I am Kevin Rutland. I'm here with Sean Witherspoon and Jeremy Macklin. Once again, discussing Mizzou football. And we just came off an epic victory versus our most hated rivalry in Kansas. So shout out to all the Mizzou players, all the Mizzou fans who were out this Saturday at 2:30 cheering the Tigers on in a rivalry that has been missing for years. So Spoon, let's jump right into it, man. You were there, even had an impactful time on the microphone to help us get that win. Talk to me about Mizzou versus Kansas.
Mizzou versus Kansas was everything we dreamed of. We were super excited about the game. The intensity in the whole city of Columbia was just something. The vibe was electric, man. We knew it was going to be a special one. It's been such a long time, since we've gotten a chance to play them, that you knew that the pressure was built up. We had to go out and do what we needed to do, and I think we started off great. It's always great to see my brothers, pull up on my brothers, man, and make that ride from St. Louis on down to Columbia. And as you get closer, you just feel it, man. And we had a chance to do the signing, give back to the people that gave us so much in the town that really started us on our adulthood. So
Yeah,
that was super fun, man. I think the Tigers came out and showed what they can do right away. Scoring right away. I knew right then, okay, if you score right away, you know you can score all day. Even if you need one, you can get one. And then a couple things went, array, but they were able to hone it back in. But an electric atmosphere, a great time, and a game that we'll remember for a while, man. I'm super excited about where the Tigers are. And QB1, hey, he's QB1.
Okay. Yep. Jeremy, give me your take on Mizzou versus Kansas, man. Talk to me a little about being there, and then talk about what you saw from the Tigers.
Yeah, man, it's always good to come home. To get home and the love and support that you feel, man, being back there, man, is second to none. Like Spoon just alluded to, man, the atmosphere. We haven't seen that campus like that in a very, very long time.
In a while, yeah.
Like not for Arkansas, not for any of these SEC games, man. That thing was rocking. We're missing the whole end of our stadium right now, and it still was loud.
Yeah.
Man, so shouts out to Mizzou, man. They showed up and showed out. And then just the game in general, man. Like, being down 15 points or 14 points, man. You never felt like we were in trouble. You never felt like the game was out of, like, because we controlled it. Like, we had more stats. Like, and stats sometimes lie, right? But like, I felt like we always controlled, like the game, and it was so weird because we were down 2 scores early. But when you hold a team to 3 yards rushing, like you ain't coming to be no SEC team running the ball for 3 yards.
Good point.
I don't care, and I know we haven't got to this segment yet, but like, just look around, like, so Mizzou took care of business against who I think is a team that's going to be in the mix in the Big 12.
Yes.
Like, Clemson struggled with Troy, right? Florida lost to South Florida. Now, South Florida might be legit.
They might, but they were unranked.
But then Oregon State lost to Fresno State, who Kansas dominated. I'm telling you right now, that Kansas team is a pretty good football team, and I know styles make matches. And like I said, with rivalry games, man, you can kind of throw all that other stuff out the window. But I thought we took care of business, and honestly, the score, to me, didn't dictate. I thought we dominated. I thought we dominated the football game, and that sounds crazy, being down 2 scores early. But we moved the ball at will, we ran the ball at will, we threw the ball at will. Guys are making plays. I just feel like we dominated, even though like we only won by 2 possessions.
No, I agree, but like you said, sometimes stats can be misleading. But I think being in there in the stadium, and then going back and looking at the stats, it kind of mirrors what you said you felt. It was never like, man, I think it's getting out of hand, maybe we'll lose this game. There were it was a bad turnover, an opportunity, and that's how you get up 2 scores, right? But if you look at quarterback to quarterback, 334 with 3 touchdowns for Bo, and then Daniels, 223, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He outplayed him. Running back rushed for 140. Theirs had 17 yards. Our receiver had 126. Theirs had 74. Like, we outplayed them, and we made mistakes that cost us points early, but I think far as I felt the same way, and I'm a little bit more superstitious than y'all. So I couldn't be on the field. I had to go upstairs and watch from another angle. I play better when I'm up top, but I didn't feel the fear of like, man, we're not playing good football. We're gonna lose this game. I felt like we were in control the majority of that game. So I agree with you. What did you like from the offense, J Mac, that you saw?
Man, I loved it all, right? I think you saw like what it can be. Now here's the deal. We're gonna play teams that are much more sturdy on defense than what Kansas was.
Yes.
Right? I get it. But like to see Bo really like start, I guess you could say it a bit shaky and then kind of like get it together and he was like flawless, right?
Yeah.
Flawless down the stretch. But then you see the two-headed monster running back, man. That boy Hardy's legs is about as big as boulders, man.
Tree
He's running
trunks.
through tackles, man. But it was also good to see the St. Louis kid Jamal Roberts, man. Get some burn, some big yardage. Like I said, both of them went over 100 yards.
Yeah.
It was the tight end get involved. Yeah, Kevin Coleman finally have that. I think that signature game that now I say finally, right? We only two games in, but like you saw like intermediate, right? Short, right? Flare screens, bubbles in motion. You saw the things that they want to do with him. So for me, man, and you scored 42 points. Like,
yeah,
man, it was explosive, man. It was fun to watch. I thought Kirby called an awesome game. And honestly, I thought like once we got down, it was like, all right, here we go. And like then it was like, all right.
The flip switched.
Yes, man.
Yeah. So Spoon, I know one thing I like to see, and I thought we did a great job of against Kansas was handling a mobile quarterback. What are some of the things that you saw that you thought we did a really good job of defensively?
Well, typically when you take away the run from the running back position, it kind of falls on the quarterback to kind of do something that can, give us a little bit of a breather, And Kansas's guy, he's a good quarterback. He ran a little bit more to pass. And he came out a couple times, but I mean, when you're knocking him behind the line of scrimmage, early in the game, it's going to have that effect on you, man. We can't move the ball on these guys unless we're kind of off time and getting to our second and third read. And then the defense just continued to ramp it up. I mean, I think they had net 3 rushing yards.
Yeah, it was something bad.
I mean, that's pretty special. That's pretty special. I think when you can do that, you're going to put them in a box, man. You're going to put them in a box where they have to be one-dimensional, and they knew it. In order to win that game, they had to drop back and throw that ball. And when you can do that to a team, you become like their worst nightmare. And just to see us be physical, 19, I'm playing with the Guardian cap, Georgia kid. Jeremiah Trotter's son, Josiah in the middle, making plays. Jalen Catalan in the game on defense with a pick, 1-3. He kind of looked like Pig Brown out there, man. It was a toe tap over there, working the sideline like J-Mac. I think the defense definitely started the season off on a great note, the last game, and then coming in with this one, just really, protecting your house. Now, and you look at the points that they gave up. What was the score again? The final score?
They gave up 24 because they had a fumble 6.
24 in a rivalry game. In a game that means so much, where it can be all over the place. I think they were pretty sound, man. Looking forward to seeing where they can take it because if you have a defense in this conference, you already know. And you're going to be in position. And to see what the offense did, I mean, we talked about Bo. There was only one play that we could really look at and be like, oh, man, we was all shaking our head about that play. And that was just a good football play. He's running and somebody hit him from the back and jarred the ball loose.
Right.
But he was poised. He was poised, man. And I think the O-line really did a good job of just leaning on Kansas because 92 in the middle, he was playing some good ball. And the linebackers were scraping good. They were, early in the game, they looked like, man, Kansas might be ready for this. But we continue to stick with our plan and not really just go astray. 9 guys catching the ball on offense, 4 guys with explosive passes, 15-yard passes or more. I mean, that was special. And to see the kid from St. Louis return back to the state, I mean, son, you should have been here already. Like, let's be honest. Him and Luther would have been crazy too, right? Like, but to have him now and to see him do his thing in his home state and to be a guy, that can be a possession guy. He had a big one for 50, but a lot of the time he just made the big play when he needed it. Got us out of trouble, man. That was something that's cool. And we know what we have on the other side with 2. We know that he's an explosive guy. So I think we're going to complement each other well to get the tight end involved the way we did. that looked like the Mizzou we went to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
80,
I think what you're saying is like, so I think Kansas was, we had one opportunity maybe to get downfield, but I think Kansas was, hey, we're not letting you get over the top,
No.
yes.
right? So, okay, so now three had a day, right? Three had a day. The tight end had a day. Tight end had
Man,
7 catches, 2
special.
touchdowns. So like,
Yeah.
that's what I love seeing. It was like, hey, you guys want to take this away? Okay, like
We got other ways to beat you.
we got other ways to beat you, and
There
that's
it
what I
is.
was impressed with. I thought Moore called a great game.
Yeah.
So, last question about Kansas. How do you feel the players who have no connection, maybe some of them watched football when they were younger, but they don't have the same connection we have to disliking Kansas? How do you think they handled that during the game, before the game, and post game? You think they they understand now, or will it take a few more years? What do you think,
Go ahead, Matt. You got it.
Well, I mean, I think if you didn't understand it, like you could feel it. I thought the atmosphere was electric, man.
Yeah.
Like anything from the pregame festivities to the Tiger Walk to
Mhm.
Mr. Brightside, like it was, and they played it 3 times. So
Hey,
it was
that's wild.
electric, man. So like I said, man, shout out to Mizzou, man, for showing up and really showing everybody who may be new to it, right? Like what it means, like what this game really means to the school. And like I said, I thought some of the the pictures, the drink quotes afterwards. You got guys beating the drum afterwards, man.
That was good to see.
They call it belt to what afterwards. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I thought even if they don't understand it, they did a great job faking it. But it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah.
What you
And
think,
and I think there's a lot of authenticity in this group because maybe they hadn't been a part of it, but it was something that was said all week, man, all on campus. I mean, you even change your chant for that week. It's MIZ and it's something else after that. It's a little different than ZOU. So it shows you how amplified this matchup is, and with the the fact that we hadn't had that game in such a long time. When I remember seeing us play Nebraska, Mac, when we were there, and they brought out special stands and stuff. Like it's gonna be a different crowd. Like, oh, we got end zone stands now. What's going on there? And that amped me up. Oh, this real night game.
Yes.
Different. The block M on the helmets. Like seeing them in the block M. It took me back.
Yeah.
It took me back, man. And I think the kids, when I had a chance to go in the locker room, that's why I wanted Mac to go ahead and speak first. I went in the locker room after the game. My guys looking for me. What's Spoon at? We're about to leave him. He can stay at Columbia then. You know what I'm saying? My wife couldn't find me. Matt couldn't find me. K. Rutt couldn't find me. I'm in there. Man, I'm jumping around. You should have saw the energy in there. Denario ended up making it in there. But they were picking up players who had an impact in the game, like just hosting them up. Like, man, it looked like they was walking off the field like they last time, like the last ride. Like you could tell that it was super important to them. They Marquise Johnson, who we played with his dad, Dominique Johnson at Mizzou, and to see how he's the first one. Man, where's that drum? Where's that drum? Because he knows about that drum. And I think the kids that have the ties to the program were able to let the guys know, hey man, if we don't do nothing, we got to do this one. And the fact that KU is a great opponent. You can see their team and they got talent. They have talent, and so okay, this is kind of where we stand. Now we got a team coming in that not as big as KU, but could still cause you problems. And I think with the fact that we've already had such a big game, we're going to be ready to make sure that we don't look at anybody sideways just because of who they are, what their history are, where they may be coming from. We know that it's about us. It's about us, man, and to be able to give Kansas some counter shots when they got their shots off. That's what good teams got to have. They got to have a secondary plan.
I will admit, I was glad to see us have to battle through some adversity, especially early on, versus a team that I think, like J-Mac said, they're going to make a little bit of noise in the Big 12 down the year. I think it was good for us to bounce back from that because how many home games we have? 6 home games. It can be easy to kind of like, we're at home. It's easy to win at home, right? But now you were down at home. You fought back. You can take it on the road. You know what I mean? Spoon made a good point. I think we're talking about next week now, and a team that's coming in here that is not as not as good as Kansas probably will be.
We're not going to be as excited. The stadium ain't going to be,
We'll be rocking. But we have to still kind of lean on some of the normal things we do as a team to win. So how do you go into a week after playing a big rivalry game, and winning, how do you go into a week where the expectation isn't the same? The environment won't be that crazy. How do you get your team up for that week, J Mac?
Well, I think for starters, it's one of those things, man. That like if your goals are your goals, right? It's tough to drop one out of conference. It just is. So
Yeah.
like you can't drop one out of conference and expect that you're gonna be there in the end, knowing this gauntlet you're about to have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, though, just take a look around the nation, man. You saw Troy up 16-0 on Clemson, right at halftime, right? You saw and like I said, we don't know how good South Florida is yet, but you saw them beat Florida at home. Florida's at home,
Yeah.
right? You
We
saw
saw
Fresno
SMU
State. You saw Mississippi State beat
beat
Arizona State. So like
Yeah.
that's what I love about college ball right now. You saw South Carolina struggle with South Carolina State for three
for a
quarters.
while. Yeah, for 3
You know what I
quarters.
mean? So like, man, you got to get these guys up each and every week and ready to play. You got to keep the main thing, right? You can't be looking next week to South Carolina, right? Possible game day, possible whatever, right? You can't be looking there, right? You got to understand that none of that matters if we don't take care of what's in front of us. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, like Drink does a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, I think so.
He does a pretty good job of that, and you have it. We're not sitting there talking about, damn, Mizzou should have won that. Like that hasn't been like
That's a good
their
point.
losses hasn't really been that,
No.
right? You know what I mean? So I think we have those guys ready to play, man. And then you take care of business this one, man, and then you gear up for a really big one in Columbia.
Spoon, how do you make your team not look ahead defensively? Like come out, you want to pitch a shutout versus the Raging Cajuns, but you got South Carolina that I know we're all thinking about. You know what I mean? How do you
Well,
get the team ready?
well, first you gotta assess what you just did. I'm sure today when they met, they're watching plays that the fans aren't even talking about. I think that's one thing that you have to focus on. When you're winning, you're able to, kind of move past the game a little quicker. But in this moment, I think it would behoove us quite a bit to really focus on the things that, could really, hurt us down the road, and it's not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but it's just, you don't want to skip over anything. It's a
Yeah.
process. Obviously we started outside of the top 25, right? And then we come up a little bit. Now they're like, oh, Mizzou looking cute again. Look at them. Oh. So they with us a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got to keep that hunger, and don't forget the disrespect. Don't forget the disrespect, man. And you know that you got to do more. You got to do more than anybody at Mizzou. Right? You just got to feel that. You ain't gonna get no calls. You ain't gonna get no love on the TV. You got to really go out there and take it. And I think Drink, he has that underdog mentality to get them guys like ready to go, man. And you beat good football teams, and you're a good football team already. And we got to show our players what we're up against this week.
Yeah.
We just have to. I mean, 14 for 22 by the quarterback throwing for 86 yards against McNeese State. At home, they were at home. I mean, bro, they come in here. A team couldn't run the ball on us. That's
Marcus Golden said it best, man. Go hunting. Go hunt.
Go hunting.
Go hunt, man. Go hunt. For real.
Yeah, man, we got to go out there
You
come out there with the mentality. Not no letdown. Then we gonna go out here. Let's one up what we just did. Got a Big 12 team came in and ran for 3 yards. They used to look at us like that type of team. Like the SEC.
They did.
I'll play over there, man. Man, look here, man. We in the SEC. We getting that stadium right, so can't nobody say nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real nice. So just wait it out. But when you come here, just know we even though the house ain't finished, we will finish you. And I think if we have that attitude, that mentality, and if I can get back in the building a few times, I guarantee a couple wins like Rasheed. But for real, man, it's there in front of us, man. We can't look ahead. We got 6 games at home, one at a time. 1-0 this week. 1-0 this week, man. That has to be that got to be the sermon or the homily. What you want to call it?
We want to call it either one.
All right, that's the best.
1-0. So look, we did crack the top 25, at least according to the ESPN app. We are number 25 right now. I'm not sure what poll they are using, but
AP. We're 26 in the coaches poll.
But we're here now, right? And I'm not even sure how many SEC teams I'm looking at.
Bro, 11.
A&M, Bama,
11.
It's hot.
LSU.
It's hot on the block.
13. And that's one reason why preseason rankings, I understand how some people can get caught up in them, and I'm one of the people who gets caught up in them. But in the SEC, from week to week, 11 teams. Like 11 teams is crazy. I mean, and you got teams. How many top 10 teams we have? I'm not even sure, but it's a lot of talent in that conference. So you just play your schedule, and so I'm not even worried about having a team like the Racing Canes on our schedule because it's like next week we got the number 10 team in the country coming in town. You know what I mean? So are we happy with 25, or should we be 2019-ish? What do you think, Mac?
I don't care. For me, the rankings don't matter, man. Because like I said, I'm still on that, man. You take care of business, man. Your goals are your goals, right? You're gonna be there in the end, right? So I think the great thing, though, man, and Kevin, this is credit to you because, like, I do think college football is great right now. I think there's a lot of talent, a lot of places. But man, you got Mississippi State beating Arizona State, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a college, you know what I mean? And Arizona State's on record saying they're better last year than what they were this year than what they were last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Auburn, right, who beat Baylor, and Baylor just beat SMU. Like, so I like once again, styles make fights, right?
Yeah.
Styles do make fights, but what it is I think everybody in the SEC on any given day, if you don't play well, they can get you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think every other conference can say that. I think there's teams in every other conference that, like, you talk about Mississippi State, who's picked to finish last.
They were. Yeah.
Just beat Arizona State, who's picked to win the Big 12.
Win their conference, yeah.
So, like, what I'm saying is that, like, that's how you know that it is different down there.
It's serious.
Spoon, how do you feel about the SEC right now?
Man, it's hot. It's hot on the block, man. Like Max said, anybody can get you. You know, you come in there and you ain't on your game, it could be a long day for you, man. And the coaching is second to none, man. They're doing a great job of putting their guys in position. You know, everybody got the resources to do everything they need to do for their team. Mm-hmm. You just feel that. You just feel that in this conference, man. So each and every week, you know that your best is needed. It's required. If you don't come out there with your best effort, I mean, you'll be in a fight. You'll be in a fight. And we know in a fight, when you got dogs, you know, any dog can win. A big, you know, once the jaws lock on that neck, you know,
we here now.
You can't let up. You can't let up in this conference. And I think that's the blessing to be in this conference, because you know that no matter what is the magnitude of, you know, your result each and every week, the way you go about your business, like it has to be on par with, you know, the top teams in the country are right here with you. So it ain't no, you know, it's a grinder, man. And they've always said it, you know, but to be a part of it from this standpoint of, you know, from the chair over here to see it, you know, I think it's a great thing for Missouri football, man, because we get a chance to show our culture. And I know the KU game, maybe a lot of people didn't get to watch it, but I think that's going to be something that's going to lead into these other big games coming up down the road with the atmosphere in Columbia, and us, you know, getting the opportunity to defend at home what's ours, and let the cards fall, you know, where they may.
Matt used to say this last year on the show, and now it's even proven to be more true, probably even was then, that 2 losses, you can probably still make the playoff in the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, because you might lose to 2 top 10 teams in one season. You know what I mean? And I think depending on how you lose those games, you should have a shot. Like, I'm not saying we have a team we can lose to, but Oklahoma just beat Michigan. And in my opinion, it didn't look close at times. This can look bad. And they were ranked ahead of Oklahoma at the time. You know what I mean? And so now, if we're going to talk about maybe in the Big Ten, are they just extremely top heavy? Go ahead.
I think that's what we said. I think we got to be careful, like I said, with the rankings. I just think that it's so early. It's early. But yeah, man, when you have those cross conference battles like that with these top heavy teams, right? Like, you get a chance to really see something. And I do think that if people talk about Oklahoma being kind of like the middle of the SEC pack right now, right?
Yeah.
People talk about Michigan being bottom to half top, right? Because you got Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon.
Yes.
Indiana, Michigan right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the next.
I just think that it shows you that SEC is just deeper. It's just deeper. It's deeper.
I hate to see the SEC lose to anybody, like any of the non-conference games. You know what I mean? Because I think at the end of the day, when we're looking at playoff seeding, that should be important. I'm not sure how important it will be this year with how it's going to go. Are we still doing the conference winners get to go? I'm not sure that's still how it works. But if it doesn't, then it helps to be a part of the SEC right now. You know what I mean?
Great.
So now last question I have kind of about college football. Did we see any team that we thought kind of stood out? Better than they thought they would be, or this team isn't as good as we thought they were going to be? Anything like that stand out to you, Spoon or J-Mac?
I think I'm worried about Clemson a little bit. Now that worried a little bit. I just at home down 16-0. I'm a little worried about that, right?
Let me pause you. But does that make you worry about how good LSU is for beating them?
No, because I think that's different. Like I said, and that's why I don't want to get caught up in rankings. Like it'll play itself out. Yeah. I think the team that I'm most intrigued by that's outside of us and outside of the SEC is Florida State. I want to see, really it's two. I want to see, can Florida State sustain what they've been doing in ACC play, right? Mm-hmm. And also, how good is USF? USF.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where
how
I'm
good
at.
Are they? Like I'm interested to see how good they really are. But like I think outside of the SEC, I'm very intrigued with Florida State and South Florida.
Spoon, what about you? Anybody stand out to you?
South Florida is definitely a team that stands out to me. And I think the other conference we talked about was the Big Ten. Now, will Indiana and Illinois, will they take the step?
Illinois, another one.
Will they take the step to show people that, okay, they might be a little down on the Big Ten and thinking we ain't rocking like that, but we got some teams that are in that top 25, some of them even in the top 20 that did a great job last year and are trying to build on something. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, when I don't want to pass over South Florida because just when you look at that location where they go to school, and the boys can run down there, man. And, now you got them. You got kids. You can buy kids. You can sprinkle in what you need. We need some big dogs from the Midwest that, some corn-fed boys that hold up front, make sure that pocket is clean. I think they're in a situation where they can, beating Florida, and then now they got to go to Miami. They can show you right away who they are, to be honest, And they had last year against Miami. Miami had Cam Ward last year. Now they got, Carson Beck. It'll be interesting to see that. But I do believe that halftime, it might have been a tie game last year at South Florida's place against Miami. So I want to see that game and how that transpires. I'll be tuned into that one because that's a team that I feel that is serious.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Are we impressed with Miami's win over Notre Dame? Are we impressed?
Look, I'll go first. And this is years in the making. I feel as if college football, I'm not sure if it's whoever's making the rankings, we give Notre Dame this pass early on.
They went to the national championship.
I understand. Okay. But even the years where they don't have great teams, they always get a lot of early on. Mm-hmm. How good that team is, I just don't know. Jeremy, you know more about them because you coach players or coach against players who are there. And you know who the dogs are. I don't know anybody from that school, from that team. Like I'm not impressed. You know what I mean? So for them to lose, I'm like, thank you. Somebody finally beat them to show that stop ranking them in the top 10 preseason. They don't have as tough to play everybody that Mizzou will play this year. It's just not going to happen for them. So I'm not saying they're a bad team. I never want to cast my vote on them early and say, yes, they're good because I don't know who they actually have. I don't know. I'm not sure who they're scheduled to play against. What you got, Spoon?
This is where I'm going to go here with it. Man, Miami was lucky to win that game, bro. There was a few throws in that game. There are a few throws, a few catches that happened in that game.
That's true.
That could be totally different, just the bounce of the ball. And I think Carson Beck was good, but I also think he was a little lucky in that game too. So it's good to be both. But I think the story's still out on him, man. He ain't in Georgia no more, is he? They got everything they need in Georgia, and he left town. So I got to look at that as concern for me. Now, he is a great player that we've seen do great things in college, but he left, so, and,
Yeah.
I want to see how it transpires down the road. And I think, Miami's tough enough to stop you from running the ball. That's Notre Dame is more of a, they want to run the ball, but the quarterback, he didn't do too bad against Miami. He gave it away once, but it was 24-27, and there was a lot of top 10 type plays in that game, man. And Miami was up at half, and I think Notre Dame scoring 17 in the fourth quarter. I mean, you kind of got to look at that. Okay, that's something to have in your back pocket as you go down the season, because you was able to do that at Miami in that humidity. But how's it going to look when teams come up there with that tall grass and they got to go against you? Because the kid from St. Louis, special cat. Is the love.
Yeah.
They got some guys up there that can make some plays. I think when you are in the national championship beforehand and you got this brand that they have, NBC brand, I mean, they're gonna be up there. They're gonna
so
be.
Like, what do you think about them?
We'll see. We'll see. Hey, listen, we'll see.
And they basically pick their schedules too. Though,
I will say this, right? I was impressed with Miami's ability to stop the run. I thought Notre Dame was going to be able to run the football on them probably at will.
Yeah.
Now, that's twice now that I've been pretty impressed with an ACC's interior that I normally haven't been in the past. I was also impressed with BT against South Carolina, even though South Carolina won the game. I was impressed with BT's trenches a little bit. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it's kudos to now, like these they call it trench welfare, huh, Frank? Like, it's a lot of places that we're normally not used to it being. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
They got A&M coming up, right?
Who?
They got A&M, and then they got South Florida first.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yep, they got South Florida next week.
Mm-hmm.
No, Notre Dame got A&M.
No.
Miami got South Florida.
Miami got South Florida. It's some good games. And
those are good games. Those are good games.
It's gonna be interesting for sure, to say the least.
So before we go, I gotta get your game score predictions for us versus Raising Cajuns. I'll start off. I think we might put up 60. Kind of like we did week 1. So, man, give me 60 something to 0.
I like that, Kevin.
Yeah,
I'm on them same vibes. I'm on them same vibes.
What?
Because if we ain't, I'm mad. I'm like, man, what?
Like, I feel like I'll be honest. Last year there were some games early on that we didn't blow teams out, and I think that kind of showed us what kind of season we would have.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of business if you want to be the big dog.
I agree.
Has to look the part when you're playing teams that are not in your conference or not in Power 5. So if you're laughing at 60 to 0, what do you think it's gonna be?
I'm gonna go 52-10.
10? How?
I mean, we gave up. We still get because here's the deal. You want to keep everybody healthy. You want to keep everybody healthy. You want to keep everybody fresh going into South Carolina as much as you can, right? We gave up 6 to Central Arkansas. Like, I just feel like 10 just seems pretty reasonable. I don't know.
Hey, man.
What you got, Spoon?
Some of these boys playing this week gonna be getting some portal work. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the starters up out of there. Get the starters up out of there early. There's gonna be some guys playing that's gonna get an opportunity to show what they can do. And I would not like for them to leave Missouri, but they're gonna get some film that people can see what they can do. Especially behind the caliber of player that the SEC produces. And if you're a team like that, then maybe, oh man, we need this piece. Those guys could be, garnering some attention. I would say that we're going to score 72 points. It's going to be 72 to 3. And the reason why I say 72, it was my bus number growing up and my favorite bus number. But 72 to 3 is like, you don't say, man, you see Mizzou put up 60 on Lafayette? You ain't going to say nothing about 60, 50. But if they score 70, they don't care who you playing against. When you see 70 come across, like we was at the stadium, we said, dang. Who was 70 on somebody? Like,
Tennessee.
When you see 70, they put a whooping on somebody.
Tennessee.
I got it. Tennessee.
I think it was 2. I think it was 2 games.
It was 2. I think Bama had 72.
Yeah.
I think
Bama man, I just think that'll be right
72.
up my alley, man. I'd be excited about that, man. So I'm gonna say 72-3.
My bad. I meant to close it out, but Oregon beat Oklahoma State 69-3.
No, but here's the deal.
What's going on?
And Mike and like Mike,
I'm a man.
you either really like him or you don't like him at all.
I'm 40.
Like sometimes Mike need to be quiet sometimes because Mike added a little fuel to that fire, talking about like here's the deal, Mike. At the end of the day, college football is what it is. You can either get with it or you can be the guy that complains about it.
What did he say?
He was talking about the amount of money that his roster's worth essentially, and like
it's not compared to. Like you can't.
He's a small market. He's a small market team. So now he
and literally, and then I don't know if he said something about Dan Lanning or like I don't know exactly what happened because I didn't really care to go look at it. Yeah. I just know he was talking because he always talking. Like sometimes, bro, just be quiet. Also, it seemed like he'd been there for 40 years.
Well, he took a pay cut to stay. I think I heard.
Does he have a lifetime contract?
he could. He could, bro. I think he played there too.
I think I think they wanted him out, and he took a pay cut to stay. So I think right now they kind of got him for cheap. But I don't know. But maybe that just also shows if they come out and are competitive in the Big 12, how much better the Big 10 is in the Big 12.
Now, Oregon's gonna beat the snot out of them after what he said. And was it in Oregon too? Was it in Eugene?
I think so.
It better be because you 69.
Yeah, it was in Eugene. Oh? Yeah.
If anybody's doing 69 on your home, you better be at the house.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Oh, this boy is wild boy.
69 at the crib.
They may say, "Oh, this is I didn't even catch it."
Yeah, they gotta get that out of there.
Hey, look, fellas, it's been awesome, man. Once again, True Sons here, brought to you by TPL. We had a great night tonight. Looking forward to doing it again next week. Mizzou, thank you again for taking care of business in the Border Showdown. It means the world to all alumni, to the current fans that you players may not know us, but it means the world to get that win over Kansas. Now the rest of the season, we can sleep well. Signing off, your True Sons, man. I'm Kevin Rutland here with Sean Weatherspoon and Jeremy Macklin. Y'all have a good night.